All right. So today we're going to be learning about ParentVue with this tab that you'll be able to see now. And I'm going to turn it over to my wonderful colleague, Patricia Ramirez, who is going to be leading this. I'm going to ask you all to please hang on to your questions until the very end. But if you've got a burning question and you want to make sure you don't forget it, you can drop that into the chat. The FERS will be monitoring the chat and we'll make sure that your question doesn't get overlooked. But please, if you can, let her get through the information that she has, and then she'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. And that's, I think, it for me. Let me turn it over. I'm so sorry. I'm Tiandra Grant. I'm your Family Engagement Region Rep for Region 2 schools. And we have the other FERS in here. If you guys want to wave, say hello, introduce yourself.
Hi, Sandra Chetlett, Region 6 rep. Good morning. Happy New Year.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
Liliana
folks. I'm
Angel.
Claudia Thomas, and I'm the Family Engagement Region Rep for Region 1 schools. Welcome.
Did I hear Hiba in there?
Hi, I am Flora Vega from Family Liaison at North Springfield Elementary School. I don't know if I am supposed to be here. I'm sorry.
If you're a family liaison, you're in the right place.
Okay,
This one
thank
is
you.
for all family liaisons. So perfect.
Okay, okay. Happy New Year to everybody.
To you too. So let me go ahead and turn it over to my colleague.
Hi, I'm Maricel Miranda and I work at Paul Middle School.
Good morning, my name is Liliana Angel, Goodwood Elementary School. Happy New Year, Miss Tianja. I love you.
Hi, I'm Asya Samisai, the family liaison at Greenbrier West Elementary School.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ana Cruz. I'm the family liaison of Franconia Elementary School, Region 3. Happy New Year, everybody.
Hi, I'm Rochelle
I'm gonna-
Lowinger, Shelley Lowinger. I'm the family liaison at Kent Gardens Elementary School.
Okay, everybody. Sorry, hold on. Let me jump in. We are thrilled for folks to introduce themselves, but we've got to get through content, and we've got a lot of folks in here. We will never get started if we go through everybody, or we'll never get started and we'll never get finished. So if you could hold on to that, let's hear what's going on with this, and we will have a chance to connect a little bit later.
Okay, thank you, Tianja. And I'm not sure if there were any other FERS in the room. I have several screens going at the same time, so I don't know where to look first. But I don't know if there's any other FERS in the room. I think we heard from Claudia, we heard from Tianja. I'm Patricia Ramirez, Family Engagement Rep for Region 3. I don't know if Hiba is in the room with us, but she is from Region 4. We have Alan Ramirez Lopez from Region 5, and then Sandra from Region 6 introduced herself. So thanks everyone for coming today. I know that this usually is the time that is carved out for specialized office hours. So I appreciate the new family liaisons giving us their hour to go over ParentVue. This is something that every family liaison needs to know about so that you can support your parents to connect with their students via ParentVue. So this presentation is going to cover the basics of activating and navigating ParentVue. There are some new resources that we're going to cover as well to help you help the parents. And I know that the other FERS agree with me that we kind of always describe our job as we're here to help you, help the parents, help their students. So that's what we're doing today. We want to help you know about ParentVue because this is going to help you to support parents. And that's how parents are able to support their students, especially in middle and high school. So these slides are intended to show family liaisons how to present this information to parents and families. So you probably already know that ParentVue is the FCPS secure solution for accessing information about attendance, class performance, demographic data, and links to Schoology. There's once a family has their ParentVue account activated, they will use the same login and password to access Schoology. So that it kind of goes hand in hand. We're going to talk a little bit about that though, because ParentVue and Schoology do not communicate with one another. The only thing they have in common is that they use the same login and password. So we can definitely flesh out some of those details later as well. So this provides families with an additional connection for communication with the student and school progress. So the first step in getting families connected with ParentVue is helping them activate their accounts. So each parent has a unique activation code that can be accessed on the SIS school-wide system. So school registrars, SIAs, school counselors, and some family liaisons have access to the ParentVue tab. I have helped a few liaisons get access to the tab, but ultimately it is up to their school principal whether they are going to have access or not. In some schools, it's not even necessary for the family liaison to have access to the ParentVue tab on SIS because their registrars do such a fabulous job of getting this information out to families and getting them their activation codes. That really is the only reason you would need the ParentVue tab. And that's something you can definitely discuss with me later or with your regional FER. So family liaisons can request access to this again, but it has to be approved by your school-based supervisor. So if a parent has already activated their account, they'll need to log in using their username, which is usually their email address. And if they're not sure which email address they used, you can access that on the ParentVue tab of SIS, or the registrar or SIA can see that. But the school does not have access to passwords. So if they've forgotten their password, all they have to do is click on Forgot Password and they can reset their passwords. Okay, so the information that parents need to activate their accounts can be found on the SIS ParentVue tab that can be printed out for the parents to use. So it's really important that parents are aware of the system is very tricky. It will ask for the first and last names that we have on file for them. So it has to appear exactly like it does. If it's misspelled in SIS, it has to be misspelled for activating the account. So we have to have their name exactly like it is. And that can present some issues with families who have multiple names, multiple last names, hyphenated versus non-hyphenated. So we want to make sure that we give them the exact information that we have in SIS, as well as their activation codes. And they should be aware too that activation codes expire. If they don't use the activation code by the expiration date, they can just request a new code. So anyone who has access to the activation codes, they can reset those codes and give them the expiration date. So that is really useful for families. All right. Once their account is activated, families can use the ParentVue, can access ParentVue by going to sisparent.fcps.edu. It's also accessible from the FCPS website. Again, they're going to use their username, which is the email they use to activate the account, and the password that they created. Again, if they forgot their password, the school does not hold on to passwords, so the school won't have access to that. They will have to reset their passwords. Okay. Once a family has logged into ParentVue, they should be able to see all of their students who are enrolled in FCPS schools, regardless of their grade. So you can see here on this slide, this is a screenshot that I took of my own children when they were all in FCPS. Now they're graduated and I have one senior. So next year I won't even have access to ParentVue. So they should be able to see all of their students. If they don't see all of their students on the drop-down tab, it might be because one parent enrolled one student and the other parent enrolled the other student, and so both parents have to have their ParentVue activated in order to see all the students. So, but that's something that the registrar or SIA can help them figure out if they can't see all of their students there. Elementary schools do not record the same information that secondary, middle school and high schools do. For instance, parents will not be able to see their students' grades until their child is in middle school. This is because the grading system is different between elementary and secondary schools. Again, if they think that they are supposed to have access to certain information and they don't, definitely they can talk to the SIA or school. They should be able to help them get access to all the information that they need. So if I want to see information for a particular student and I have all of my students on there, I would click on the student that I want to see. So let's see, if I clicked on, for instance, in this case, I clicked on Marisol, I would be able to see all of the tabs that apply strictly to Marisol. So they click on the left side to access any of the available information about their student, including the school, the resources offered to FCPS families, their class schedule. There's a lot on this slide where you can see all of the tabs on the left, messages, calendar, attendance, class schedule, all of those things. And when we're done here, I'm going to take you through a live look at ParentVue, and we'll look at my daughter's account just so you can see what it looks like live for parents. So on this particular slide, class schedule has been selected. It shows the student's schedule only for that particular day. So if today I were to access my daughter's account, I would only be able to see the 4 classes she has scheduled today. If I want to see her entire schedule, I would have to click on quarter 2 because we're in the second quarter of the school year right now. For secondary schools, that means because they follow a block schedule, you'll only be able to see certain classes on certain days. If I look at tomorrow's schedule, it's different classes than I would see today. So I hope that makes sense. Students, if students want to see, or if parents want to see the student's entire schedule, again, they have to click on the, it says here second quarter or first quarter, and they'll be able to see the entire schedule. What's really great too about looking at the entire schedule is you can see the teachers' names next to the class. Next to the teacher's names is a little blue envelope, and that blue envelope means that you can click on it and email the teacher through there. When the teacher emails back, parents will receive that in their own email, in their regular email, so they don't have to log back in to see their messages. This is a really great resource for families that are looking for their a way to communicate with the teacher and haven't figured out how to either they don't have access to the email, they're not sure what the email is, they don't know how to look it up. Maybe they're not sure which talking points message came from which teacher. This is a really great way for families to be able to access communication with the teachers. Okay, if I click on the attendance tab, a family can see whether their student was in class on a particular day. Again, this is for middle and high school students. I don't believe no, attendance is available on elementary school students as well. But it's I found it to be particularly important for middle and high school parents to know whether their kids are in school, because unfortunately, that's when students might think about skipping classes and things like that. So the attendance tab is really important. You can also see there whether absences were recorded as excused or unexcused. That way, if there's a discrepancy, you can contact the school and clear that up. Another useful feature on this page is the bar graph, which shows if the student has developed a pattern of absences or tardiness. And when we go to the live version of ParentVue, we can click on that and take a look. And I really hope my daughter doesn't have a pattern of absences and tardiness for everybody to see. I have no idea. Okay. If we click on the calendar tab, it gives a brief overview of assignments that have been added to the gradebook. This is not an exhaustive list of all the assignments done in class or for homework. It's only graded assignments. For a comprehensive list of assignments, classwork, and homework, parents will have to log into Schoology, which is accessible with the same login and password, remember, that they use for ParentVue, but they don't have the same information. So we probably will do another mini PD just about Schoology. Okay. So this tab features the ability to view assignments for the day, the week, or the month. You can see that there in the red circle. All right. So the one that everybody wants to know, right? The grade book. The gradebook provides a list of classes and grades for the students in real time. So whatever you see on ParentVue is exactly what the grade is at that moment. That doesn't mean that all the grades have been entered. It doesn't mean that, missing assignments haven't been made up. It's important to remind families that this is not the final grade for their students for the quarter. It's merely a snapshot of the cumulative grade at that very moment. So parents can click on a particular class for more information about their student's grade. So if we did that here, oh, here's another slide that I want to talk about this before we go on, because you and I might know what A, B, C, D, or F means in a grading system. But for families that are not aware of our grading scales, it may be important to explain this. So in general, if a student has an A or B in a class, they're doing well and likely understanding the material being presented. If a student has a C or D in a class, families might be more concerned and recognize that their students are falling behind. That requires a conversation or some sort of intervention. If a student has an F in a class, we want to help families who are unfamiliar with the grading system know that this requires immediate intervention to help raise that grade before the end of the quarter. Okay, and sometimes you'll be really instrumental in helping families learn this grading system. They're, looking for A's, looking for B's, and then maybe don't know what the other grades mean. So I really encourage you to make sure that families are understanding that part as well. So in this case, I had clicked on a particular class. I can't even see what the class this is. Chemistry. This is a chemistry class. And I can see that this student has an A. So by clicking on the class in the grade book, families can see a detailed breakdown of their student's grade, including the percentage of points they've earned for the class, as well as all the graded assignments and the scores that their student has gotten on that particular class. Okay. Also, when they click on the class, they may see important information in red. So this is a good way that it stands out. This indicates that a student is missing assignments or has late assignments, and it offers an opportunity for families to consult with their students, encourage them to resolve these issues, ask questions. And, we all know those families who, they ask their student, how are you doing? I'm doing great. Okay, good. That's not always true. And this is a really good way for them to check on that. Incidentally, this is ParentVue. Students have StudentVue, which is the exact same thing. So if a parent were to tell the student, oh, look, I noticed that you have 2 missing assignments, and the student says, oh no, that's only on your version. My version says that all my assignments are turned in. That is incorrect. That is not truthful. We have the exact same information. They're updated simultaneously. So anything a parent can see, a student can see too. They might not be checking their student view, but they should be. Okay. So once a family has activated and accessed their ParentVue account, they may find it helpful to get the ParentVue app on their phone. This is an easy way to have access to all this information at their fingertips. Downloading the ParentVue app from CPS, logging in, and saving their login will help them to save several steps for logging in the next time. I will say that the app has more functions than the computer-based or laptop-based version. I don't know why this is, and I did point it out to the ParentVue people in FCPS, and they are aware of this. So I guess they're working on it, is all I can say. But it's really useful to have the app. Okay. So in ParentVue, please encourage families to explore each of the tabs on the left side of the ParentVue screen. They'll find a lot of information. It's not just information individually about their students or their grades. It also includes standardized test scores, their SOL scores, report cards, school and student information, bus schedules for their students. I know that that's very, very useful for elementary school. And access to emergency care cards if they need to update those. One of the tabs on the left side is the FCPS links. If they click on FCPS links, families can access Schoology, as well as several other resources that are offered in FCPS. Again, that FCPS links tab, though, is only available on the app. I don't know why that is. So parents will have to access Schoology either logging into Schoology on their laptop or access it through the FCPS links on their phone. Also, all of these pages, whether it is the ParentVue page, the Schoology page, or the website, FCPS website, are translatable. Please encourage families or please show families how to use that translate option if it's necessary for them. The language can be changed using the language. Once the language is changed, it should stay in that language for Schoology and ParentVue. The school website, because it's opened each time, that will change, but they can just go in and change the language to the language that suits them. Okay. There is more information about how to use ParentVue on the school website, on the FCPS website, and I'm going to go over that when we close out this. We'll go through a live version of ParentVue. We'll look at the website, and I think the next slide is, these are more features on the website. So on the website, we'll go through linking to the login page, the mobile app instructions, activation page, ParentVue versus Schoology. We don't want families to be confused about which is which and where they can find that information. So the website does talk a little bit about that. There are navigation videos in 8 languages, which is really, really helpful because we know that not all families are able to access information that is written. So the videos are very helpful. There is an explanation of each of those tabs that you see in ParentVue. There's translated instructions, and there's also a help page for any families that are having difficulty finding information. Also, there is more information on YouTube, and we will look at YouTube as well to see how we access that information and help families access that as well. Again,
Trish,
yes.
just a couple of questions that have come up before you move to the larger
Sure.
questions. Someone asked Maria Nunez, I believe, in the chat about the need to wait 24 hours after activation before an account could be utilized. So I don't know if you have anything more to offer on that.
Heard that. I have heard that you can log in immediately. If you create an account today for ParentVue, you can log into ParentVue right away. However, because the system reboots itself overnight, that login and password are not going to work for Schoology until 24 hours later or till the next day.
Okay. And a
Does that
second
answer the question?
I think so. I think, and the second question was about the elementary school grades. First of all, if that's seen in the same way when someone logs in, as well as, I mean, we know they get numerical grades, but are parents also able to see that same
No.
information?
Elementary school does not record grades on ParentVue. However, parents would be able to access a report card at the end after the report cards have been published. They can access report cards on ParentVue. In elementary school, because students generally have one main teacher and then the specials teachers, it is easier though to reach out to the teacher and see how your student is doing in their classes. With middle school, it is imperative that you have a ParentVue account though, because you have 7 or 8 different teachers. It's really hard to get a hold of everybody. So seeing all the grades together really makes more sense.
Thank you. One thing they can see though are test scores, like from
Yes.
standardized testing. So that's
Yes.
something that's helpful to show parents if they want to know how a child has done from year to year.
Yes, the SOL scores, the COGAT, all of those tests that the kids take all school year, they're all in there as well.
Thank you.
Mhm. All right. I'm going to skip the questions just for now. Just for now, just for now. And I'm going to share a different screen so that we can look at the resources on the FCPS website.
And Patricia, if I could jump in and let everybody know, I am recording all of the questions that have come up onto a separate sheet. So don't worry if you don't see an answer. We're just wanting to wait until the end.
Thank you guys for that. Thank you. Okay, so if you are in the FCPS, you can see the FCPS site here, right? A couple of head nods. Yes, you can see it. Okay. If I just type in ParentVue, I'll just do that. Very simple. I'm looking for ParentVue. Go to the overview, and the overview has so much information. That's why I wanted to go over all of this with you before you get into the overview, because it's a lot. But when you have a moment, please look through the overview. There's a ton of information. So there's the login, the mobile app, how to create the account, the difference between ParentVue and Schoology. So it's kind of listed there side by side, the different ways, the different information that you can access through ParentVue versus Schoology. Here's what I mean about the navigation videos. So if I were to look at the navigation video in Spanish, for example, this gives me a voiceover overview of how to access ParentVue. This is really useful for families because you can share this link with families in an email, in a talking points message, in the language that they prefer, and they'll be able to access those videos. That's really useful. These tabs here are all of the tabs that are, they should look familiar. They're the tabs that are on the side of the ParentVue page. So a parent can, for instance, they click on Gradebook. Elementary Gradebook is not available for elementary students. In middle and high school, Gradebook displays the assignments and scores, etc. So it kind of gives an explanation of what each of those tabs are. So if you familiarize yourself with these tabs, you'll be able to explain that better to families. Again, here is how to use the SIS ParentVue menu in Arabic, Chinese, Farsi, Korean, Spanish. These are all written documents. Again, we know that some families can't access that information. They might do better with a video. The videos are available as well. Okay. And then just a lot more information here. So please take a look at that when you're able. I'm going to look at, can you see my YouTube page? Okay, great. If in YouTube, I'm just going to type in, just very basic, FCPS ParentVue. And remember, ParentVue is one word, okay? So if I do that, again, I can see navigating SIS ParentVue, and that's particular to Fairfax County Public Schools. Remember, FCPS is not the only school division that uses ParentVue, so make sure that you are looking up FCPS so that you can get the right information. Again, here's another video, how to create an FCPS ParentVue account. I mean, the videos are really useful because, again, we know that not all families are able to read or write, or some people just receive information better by watching a video and having a step-by-step process and seeing how that process works. So lots of information, not just for you to give to families, but for you to be familiar with so that you know how to help them create their accounts. All right. I am going to, you can see the ParentVue login here. Can everybody see that? Am I on the right page? Thumbs up. Okay, I see. Thank you, Monique. I saw your thumbs up. So this is me logging in as a parent to ParentVue. So because I only have one student in FCPS right now, I can see my one student there. There she is. And we'll look at some of the tabs. So let's look at attendance. And I really hope she's not skipping school because then it's going to be embarrassing. Let's look back at October and November, so 2 full months, right? We can look back and we can see there is a ledger there, a legend there that shows what each of those symbols means. So she was out of class several times for activities in school, which means that those are excused. I can see that she has a couple of tardies that were excused. I can see that she has one unexcused tardy. So that's a question to have. I don't know what she was doing November 5th, but it was an unexcused tardy. Yeah, and so I can go back to the beginning of the year. I can go forward to today. Let's see. She was excused on December. Oh no, we're in January. I was like, what? She already is absent? Yeah. So if I'm concerned about my students' tardies and absences, remember, I can go down to this bar graph and see where is she missing the most. So I see that there's a lot of tardies happening mostly in first period, but really it's just, if I look at it, if I put my cursor on it, it shows 2 tardies, right? I look at 8th period and I'm like, wow, she looks like she has a lot of absences there. Again, it's 2 absences. And if I was really concerned about those, I might go back and look. It's important too to note that there's a 5 right here on the side. That means when a student gets to 5, we're very concerned. They should not have 5 absences in a particular class. So that's pointed out there for families to make it very easy for them. Like they're getting close to that 5. We need to start looking at why they're absent, right? So let's see, we can look at the class schedule. We're looking at the class schedule. So today I can see she has trig, she has honors chorus, she's got government and leadership. But if I want to know what does her whole schedule look like, I'm going to click on second quarter so that I can see the whole schedule. Okay. Again, if I want to reach out to one of these teachers, I can click on the teacher and it's going to go to an email that goes directly to them. Okay. So it's important for parents to know how they can access this so they can access communication with teachers as well. Okay. Course requests for middle and high school students. After they do their course requests around February or March, parents can click on course requests. I don't have any here because my daughter's graduating this year. So she's not requesting anything. She's just requesting to leave my house and spend a lot of tuition money. But parents can see the classes that their students have requested. And that's really useful because, for instance, one of my older sons had requested a class that I thought, oh my goodness, he's never going to be able, that it doesn't make sense for him to take that class. He took it anyway, and he got a big F in it. So this is a way that parents can kind of get ahead of, what are their students looking at, because they don't have to get permission to take certain classes. They don't have to get parents' permission to register for classes. But this is a good way for parents to know which classes they think they want to take, and then maybe that opens up a conversation. Okay. Let's look at gradebook. Okay. Gradebook. Yikes. Okay. In AP Environmental Science, we have a D, but I can see she has no missing assignments. So I might click on that class as a parent, and see what's going on here. And I can see, yeah, the Unit 4 assessment was not great. What is that? Oh, I already know. She's retaking that test. So again, that can be a conversation that a parent has with their students. What's going on with this class? Why did you get this grade? Is there a way that you can do corrections or a retake? That's a conversation that can happen, right? Let's go back to the grade book. And if there's another class where I'm looking for missing assignments. Well, I don't see any missing assignments, but if there were missing assignments, you would see something like there would be a red message underneath the grade showing missing assignments. If it was any of my boys that we were looking at their accounts, we would definitely be finding missing assignments. My daughter doesn't necessarily do that. All right. We can look at if a student has a 504 or an IEP, that is also able to be accessed through ParentVue, the latest version of the 504 or the IEP. So if they're concerned about something either being in the IEP or not being in the IEP, they can click on IEP. I'll click on that. And it shows here the last time they did my daughter's IEP was in February of 2025. So she's not due for a reevaluation until February of this year.
Trisha,
Yes.
sorry, we have a question for where you are. Can you go to the report card?
Yes. Report card. Come on. It takes its little time. Don't worry. Of course, because we're live and recording, it's just gonna.
Now, does Sol know that you are exposing everything about her to the world today?
No, and don't tell her.
Okay, no problem.
When I was putting these slides together years ago when all of my boys were in FCPS, they did see that they're like, why are my grades and all of my thing up there on your presentation? I was like, don't worry about it. Nobody knows you. Let me try again with the report card. I don't know why it's not loading. I do know that, oh, there it goes. Okay, so I'm looking at, it's going to give me an opportunity to look at just first quarter because that's the only one that we've had this school year. So you can see each of the grades there, and then it has the legend there that shows the breakdown of what the grades mean. Okay, so it looks like it only shows this school year. Let me see if we can go back to maybe history. We can look at history, test history. No, has SAT scores, SOL scores for different grades. It doesn't have old report cards. I think for old report cards, you'd have to go to the school or contact the school, but it does give you current report cards for this school year. On school information, this is something that's really useful to all families who have a student who uses FCPS transportation. Let me go down. That's not it. That's
There was a note that the old report cards might be in documents.
Documents. Let's see. Yep, report card there, report card. Oh yeah, look at that. Final report card for last school year. There we go. Thank you. That's news to me. I've never looked at the report cards. I should really do a better job of looking at report cards. I always had to look with my boys. With my daughter, I really don't have to look at her report card. She's all right. Or maybe I just gave up already. Let's see. I wanted to show you, student info. Under student information, please make sure that you have the parents and encourage parents to look at their student information and make sure that they have the correct address and phone number. It is so important for families to have the correct information because this is the information that we got from SIS that's automatically uploaded here. And then transportation. So my daughter doesn't use transportation, but if she did, it would be here. So that would have the location, the time. And I know that that's a call that we get at the schools a lot, like right before school starts. I don't know where the bus stop is. I don't know what time the bus is coming. If they have access to ParentVue, this is information that they can check themselves.
I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, but you're
That's
in the
okay.
place where the questions are. Can you show where the online packets tab is?
Yes. So up here at the top, you have online packets. I'm going to click on that. And this is where families can complete the Federal Impact Aid Survey, online registration, verification updates. And I think because I already have completed the other things that they ask for, what is it, like digital consent and all of those, they're not on there for me to click on.
And then there's also the question, with the elementary school, parents find the child's report card for after it's been issued, but they will not see it in real time, right?
That's correct. Any other questions you have while I'm still in this? I can close it out and then I'm available for more questions.
I do have a quick question. Hi.
Sure.
Thank you. So a parent was asking the other day, where could she check in ParentVue all the registrations she has made before of absence? I know that I told her that usually an email is sent when they register an absent or a tardy, but she wanted to know because she said that she registered them, but obviously the school did not. They were, I marked that as absent, but she wanted to know where could she check in the.
So I think, okay, so I've never reported it. So there is a tab right here next to the student where you can report an absence. I've never done it. So let's just look what let's see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't have a place where you can look for previous ones, right? But if she wants to see what the attendance looks like, she can click on the attendance tab and see, did they record the absence? Was it recorded correctly? So for instance, you can see here December 15th, there's an excused absence. Actually, yeah, it says medical appointment. So clearly that was okay. I can look at, here, November 5th, unexcused tardy. So it's recorded in here. She can go back and look at the attendance tab and see if they recorded it correctly. If not, she'd have to reach out to the school directly so that they can make those changes.
Will
And for
parents,
example,
go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry. If it was marked as reported, but still has the red thingy.
Call the school. Yeah,
Okay.
she can talk to the attendance. There's an attendance clerk at each school.
Okay.
And that can be changed. Again, remember too that each of you just received access to the attendance tab. So as long as you're able to verify that it is an excused absence, you can also change that attendance, but it has to be verified.
Thank you.
I'm going to stop sharing just so I can see everyone. Any other questions?
Yes. Hi. This is Yvette Alejos. I'm a family liaison at Ana Terrace Elementary School. My question is, how I watched about the registration, the parents can do the registration. My question is, when they need to add someone in the emergency card, they can do by this way in ParentVue?
No.
Okay.
No. That has to be done with the registrar.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, at the school.
Yes, Patricia.
But they can see their emergency. Let me see. They can't. Let me see where it is. Let me make sure I have that. Student info. Under student information, it has the physician's name.
Yeah, parents can update the emergency care contacts.
That they can or they cannot?
They can. They are able to do it. To
I don't
update
see
phone numbers.
I don't
Yes,
see.
when you do the online verification packet, that's where they can do that.
on the online verification packet at the beginning,
Let me look. Yeah.
there is a chance for them to update those emergency care contacts.
Okay. I'm going to
It
share my
sounds like,
screen so that we can look at it together.
and it sounds like if they've already submitted that verification for the year, at the beginning of the year, any subsequent changes after that will have to go through the registrar.
Well, let's see. I'm going to click on online packets. So if you're in ParentVue and you click on online packets, you can see what I'm doing, right? And then I'm going to click on online verification update. Let's see. So I can see introduction, family, parent guardian. Oops. Well, I'm missing a signature. Oh, I guess I should have signed this earlier. Oh. Yeah, it's the middle of the school year and I'm barely signing things. Let's see. If I look at emergency. Nope, nope. It doesn't let me go out of order.
There you go.
No, that's just parents.
Oh, the parent.
Yeah, you
Save
can,
and continue.
yeah, it's not letting me continue. Let me see. I might have skipped a step here. Let me see. No, I don't have any change.
There is an emergency category that maybe you can click on
Yes,
that.
I was clicking on that and it won't let me go to that because it says something is in progress here. Okay, let me just. Okay. Okay, continue. Oh, okay, I gotta do the whole thing. Hold on. Continue. Continue. Oh, actually, that's the wrong number. Okay, whatever. Nobody's calling my husband anyway. It's fine. I select a primary. So, okay. Let's see. Now we continue. Okay, so yeah, it does have the emergency contacts there, and then they can be edited. But as you can see, we got to go through all the steps.
Yeah, exactly. But I have a question about at the beginning, if a parent haven't signed up that acknowledgement, that I don't know what is the name of that, the acknowledgement, so they have to, like the students' rights and responsibilities booklet that they have to sign and provide that to the school. What is that document called?
The SR&R, Students' Rights and Responsibilities, is that the one?
Yeah, at the beginning, if the parent hasn't done it, that is going to continue showing and popping up.
Yes. So every time they try to log in, it's going to show them a reminder. Oh, you need to sign this. So it really is very simple. They click on one thing, they put their name in, and then they're able to access all the other information.
Okay. How do you call that?
The SR&R, Students' Rights and Responsibilities.
But that's when you're explaining that to parents, how would you call it? The acknowledgement or the
the SR&R acknowledgement form.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the top of the questions that we have received so far. So some of those I've tried to pull out if you've answered them already. I think you addressed the having to wait 24 hours. So it sounds like you can have the immediate access to ParentVue, but it'll be 24 hours before you can get access to Schoology because it updates overnight. Okay, and then there was a question: does anybody have an elementary school age child that they could maybe show us what it looks like for elementary school? And I think we all have middle and high schoolers, so not that one. Let's see. Although it was put into the chat for answers to this, if you could go back to that screen and show how you can help parents choose the language. And I know folks were very helpful jumping in saying bottom right-hand corner, but if you could go back and show that.
On the ParentVue, right?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And while you are getting that, there we go.
All right. So down here at the bottom, you see it. There's a little tab at the bottom. It says English. I'm going to pick Español. So there it has mi cuenta, ayuda, paquetes en línea, cerrar sesión. Okay, then it has all the tabs. And this is really great news because they actually have changed the tabs so that you can see all of the tabs in Spanish. It didn't do that before. So that's great. So asistencias, you're looking at your attendance there. It changes all of the information to Spanish. I know that in previous years ago when I looked at this, when I created this, um, it didn't do all of the pages automatically. So that's great news.
I thank you for this presentation, Patricia, because it's very enlightful for me and refreshing. And I have my presentation next week for parents, so it's very, very good. I'm going to do it in English and Spanish. So that's why I would like to know, because I'm in an elementary school, where can I find that progress report card for parents? I know you don't have one, but is there some?
No, well, here's the thing too, is that once a family, I'm going to change this back to English so that I know what I'm doing. Once a family activates their ParentVue account, they can go into their settings and decide whether they want to get any progress reports, whether they want to opt out of paper report cards, whether there's several different things that they can. Let me see if I can find how I
Yeah,
do
but
this.
this year FCPS just got rid of the paper report card for elementary.
Beatriz, I have my daughter in elementary school, so I know there is the the first quarter. We can see just only the test history, the the reports of that grade. We can see some another reports or grades. So and when you click in ParentVue and test history, so you can see the final exams that they did in the first quarter.
So they have to click on the test history
Test
tab?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we've had Denise has been very helpful with answering questions in here, so thank you for that, Denise. Or there's a question where Liz is saying that it's been her experience that families have a hard time trying to activate their ParentVue account on their mobile phones. So what she does is she'll be sitting next to them on her computer, and then they can log in on the phones later once she gets it to activate. Let's see.
Yeah, it is very recommended to activate it on the computer and then download the app and then save your login and password on the app so that it's always available. But to create the account, it is easier to do online.
And then there's a question or a suggestion about letting parents know that when they showing them the attendance area of ParentVue, it's important to let them know to check there if they get a call because they panic and think that their child just hasn't showed up at school, and it may be that they were tardy. So that's one note. And then a question about that. If you put in an information about an upcoming absence, will you still get the robocall?
Probably yes. And that's really important to help explain to parents too. Listen, in middle and high school where students get to change classes, they might in between classes go to the restroom or run to the attendance office to give them a note from you or whatever. And then they're late to class. And by the time they get to class, their teacher has already taken attendance. So it looks like they are absent. Once the teacher submits that electronically, it's automatically going to call the parents. For some students, it is important that, they, pay attention to those calls. For other parents, it might be more useful to wait until the end of the day when the attendance is updated. When the teacher sees that the student got there late and they change it in their attendance, they can't take back that phone call, right? So they might still get that phone call. Trust but verify. So this is a good way to verify attendance. I did see the question about more training on Schoology, and that is upcoming. We're talking about that already. So that's coming soon.
Another question about the SR&R acknowledgement for what it is called in Spanish. And we have derechos y responsabilidades del estudiante. And that needs to be acknowledged every year. How was my accent on that?
Very good.
Okay, muy bien. All right. I think we're caught up on questions that I pulled from the chat. Thank you guys for being patient while I made sure we got those. And now we can throw it back out to
We've got
folks.
about 4 more minutes. But I'm willing to stay on as long as you have questions. Or if we get off of here and you think of a question, please, reach out. You can email, and I think most of you have my phone number. You can call, email, text, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. We're going to share this recording with all liaisons. And then if you would like a copy of the slides, we can do that as well. And you'll just have to make a copy for yourself that you can. Several liaisons already have things scheduled with families to show them how to use ParentVue. I can send you the exact slides we have here, but they're geared towards parents. So the notes in them are going to have parents' notes instead of family liaison notes. Okay. So I will share that with the FERS, and then the FERS can share that out with each of their regions. Monique, did you have a question?
Not a question, but a comment. I don't know if any, when you look at the on SIS, sometimes there's 2 different emails. One is for ParentVue and one is for, I don't know what it is, but there's 2. There can be 2. It says there, if you guys have noticed, anybody encounter that where there's 2 different emails, and so the parents tried to log on. They've registered their kid with one email, but then they've tried to log on with another email. I don't want to open up another can of worms or anything, but
no, that's okay. I'm going to log into SIS because I still have school access because the school I used to work at years and years ago forgot to take me off.
Yes.
So I'm going to log in real quick just to see what that looks like. Yeah.
And then sometimes you just have to go into your actual SIS account and change your username, which is your password. The parents have to
And let's
change
be really clear about what we're talking about. SIS is the school-based system that we use.
Yes.
And ParentVue is the what we're trying to
So those are the
access.
2 emails and a separate one. One is for SIS and one comes under the ParentVue. But I don't know. I don't want to confuse anybody. But if you encounter that, then just bring it up with your SPED T-Spec, I think. Yeah, they can help you navigate that. Or your registrar.
Sorry, I got to connect to FCPS. Hold on just a second. I want to make sure that I'm answering your question. Was there another question, Jessica?
Yes, Patricia. I just wanted to question, while you were online, it seems like you have access or a better view of the applications or things to do that the parents may not have, because I was in my high schooler also on the application, and I couldn't see the option to change the language or the packages you were moving through as good.
You were on a laptop version or on the app?
So you were doing the website for ParentVue, right? But I was in the app for a parent. And on the app, I couldn't see the lower bottom right to change the language.
Yeah, let me see what it looks like on the app real quick. I have the app as well. I'm not sure how to change the language.
In the app, you have 2 options. Once you are logged in, and also when you are logged out, on the corner there is a little purple arrow. You change the language there.
Yeah. So on the login page on the very bottom, it says current language. And for me, it says not selected because I never selected another language, but you can select the language on the login page on the app before they log in. So if they're already logged in and already on the page where they can see all their students' information, that's too late. They need to go back to the login page.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me look at the...
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
There's a question. Someone heard that you cannot change your username, just the updated email, and your username will always be the same.
Yeah.
I want to say I believe that's right because
That
I
might be
have
correct. That might
for
be
my
correct.
own
Maybe you
That's
just
right.
have to
Yeah,
change
it
the.
is
Okay.
correct because I had a previously situations where I was trying my best to use the new email that appears in CIS, and I was told by the CIS account that whatever email you did with your previous son in 1998, for example, when he was in high school, by that time, I guess there was no CIS, but just to give you an example, and you wanted to use the new email, it will revoke the new email because you always have to use the old username. And that's what a lot of people having problems that they cannot create the account to the families is because they don't know, or maybe they're not aware that the username will be always the one that you start with.
However,
Then what we can
I want to show I'm going to go back to the login page for the ParentVue access. So down here, I can change my password, but I can also change my username. I just need to be able to, I'll show you what that looks like. I need to be able to put in what username I have right now and then be able to, oh, well, this is on FCPS, but it's logging me in automatically on FCPS. But parents can change their username.
I talked to my SIA because I've helped a lot of parents changing their, and she's always go to the username will always be the one we have on our CIS page. So the way I do it, I go to parents and I send the parent the email that might be beautiful picture. It might be an email from long time ago, but it's there. So it says username. So I give the parents the
I'm gonna share my
page,
screen so
the
you can see what that.
username, the username that we have on CIS here for them, and they can change the password. They have to keep using that email. It will not send them any emails or anything to that email. It just we will be using the new email, but their username will be that email. And my CIS and SPEC told me that that cannot be changed.
Okay, I am going to share a screen. This is what, and I don't know why it has a black background. I don't know what I did, but when you're in CIS, on the school side of CIS, if you look up a student, and this is just some random student that I picked out, and you click on the parents. I'm going to click on the parent's name down here. So you should be able to see the parent information. Can you see the parent information? Oh, sorry, I can't see you guys. So you can see the parent information?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I have access here to the ParentVue tab. So when I look at the ParentVue tab, I can see that this parent does not have a ParentVue account. So because there's no activation key, there's no email. Can you see this?
No, we can only see the students.
Let me share
Scroll
again.
down.
Yep, it's because it pops up on a new tab. So you see that I clicked on the ParentVue tab?
Yes.
It shows this family does not have a ParentVue account. So this is not even a good example. Sorry. But if they did, you would be able to see what their ParentVue ID is here and their username. Okay, so you would be able to let them know, oh, the username you used was, anacruz123@yahoo.com. Okay, or whatever it is. You can also see their history. So I didn't pick a good student to have as an example here. I should have looked this up earlier, but that's what the ParentVue tab will let you have access to.
Patricia?
Yes.
Hi, Liz Denman here from Mason
Hi.
Crest. I don't know if you mentioned it earlier, but I thought I'd share a tip, something I learned along the way that saved me quite a bit of time. A lot of parents come in and they say, I need a ParentVue account, but many of them don't remember that they actually tried to do it in years past. So I don't have the ParentVue tab that you mentioned, but I don't know. I don't think I need to try to share my screen. I'm disabled, but if you go to the same page parent guardian, scroll all the way down, and I do have one that says, it's got a yellow section. It says enrolling parent, their phone, email, and then it says has ParentVue, and if it's not checked, they've never tried to get it. But then I know I can proceed and I can get the activation code from the ladies in the front office. But if it is checked, then I need to go in and help them reset everything.
Yeah,
Like
you're
reset the
absolutely right. So
password. So that's a
everyone,
workaround if you don't
yeah,
have the tab.
right. Everyone has access to the parent guardian tab. So you're right. If you scroll down, it says there, no ParentVue parent. So that means that nobody has created an account. And that's really good to know too, because it shows here the enrolling parent is Ana Velasco. You can contact that parent and let them know you don't have a ParentVue account. I can help you create one. And if, for instance, you're making an appointment and you don't have access to the activation codes, you can get those activation codes before they come in and be ready to help them activate their account if they need help.
But the information about having ParentVue or not is only for the enrolling parent or for both parents?
No, no. But there is one caveat. The enrolling parent has to have their account activated before the other parent can activate their account. That's tricky because a parent will say, well, I'm trying to activate, but it's not letting me. You might want to check to see who the enrolling parent is because they have to activate theirs first.
Huh.
Yeah,
I
tricky.
have a parent that is enrolling parent and having problems. She's having problems activating her ParentVue. She doesn't get the email once she starts the process. When they say we're gonna send you an email and you just click to activate the account, she doesn't get the emails. And she's a enrolling parent, but the other parent already have ParentVue.
Can I answer this question? Maybe maybe she already has an account and registered this account with another email. So that's why the verification code or all of the
Right. Yeah.
communication, yes, it goes to the other
A
account.
different email.
Yes, a different email because I had a lot of like these cases with the
The, the,
parents.
the verification code and everything will be sent to the email we have registered in SIS. It goes
Exactly.
to that email because I did help a lot of parents that their the email that they had years ago and they have their account and it has to be the one that they use is the username. It's completely different. And
Yes.
I have them help them here and the verification code comes to their the email that we have on SIS.
Yeah, because some
Yeah.
of the parents they don't know that they already registered their account with the old email, so they think that they they are dealing with the same email they try to access right now. I have like this cases many times.
Mm.
You have
Yes.
the other way really easy. You go to ParentVue, SIS. It's possible, Miss Patricia, you open the SIS. In the SIS, you go to the parents and guardians. You click in the name and the parent. If you see ParentVue account, you see address or emergency contact, but you see a ParentVue account. When you see a ParentVue account, you have then he has or no has ParentVue. If he has, you gotta reactivate or you gotta make new account for this or the new key.
The last example that I used, there wasn't an account, but I'm going to share my screen because I did find one that has an account. So let me show you what that looks like.
I'm
So
so
if
sorry. I
you
have to
have